On this particular part of the farm here, we've had virtually no rainfall this autumn. Normally we'd run 2,500 sheep in this particular area. As you can see, we've run out of water and we've run out of, we've eaten all the feed here. So back in April, we took the call to sell 1,700 sheep from here, rather than going through all the expensive work of containment and feeding those sheep. Shearing and crutching that our shearing contractor and his employees are not going to have. And you can multiply that many, many times in terms of the district. So the economic impact of last year's drought west of Hamilton and terrible financial conditions for everybody, and this year's drought will amplify in the region for quite a few years to come. I know our shearing contractor is fielding phone calls nearly every day from people and he's got nothing for him to do.
Now, this situation that you're faced with at the moment, this isn't you. This has been a challenge for a couple of years now, hasn't it?
Yes. Well, last year was particularly terrible in terms of commodity prices, particularly in sheep, where mutton prices got down extremely low, and lamb prices I got back to about $4 or $5 a kilo at one stage. And then, with the poor production season on top of that, that meant that, a lot of people were in pretty dire financial straits at the end of last financial year, let alone having to go into another nearly full 12 months of dry conditions this year. With what they've had to face, and then with the state government lifting the fire services levy initially by 189%, people are just absolutely gutted. Like that gives me the mental health damage to rural Victoria than answered up. The 1 year postponement, I think it is, of the fire services levy is just totally inadequate. It just needs to be scrapped completely. So the message for the state government is there's a few things that they can do immediately that will substantially help the outlook and financial position of farmers. So obviously the first one is to cancel the increase in the fire services levy immediately, and that is within their control. They can do that today. The second thing they can do, which probably hasn't been mentioned so much but is a big impact, is they could increase the quota for harvesting of eastern grey kangaroos for pet food. So that quota was cut substantially, I think at the start of this year, and kangaroo numbers are just escalating out of control. The third thing is, I think there's probably a pretty good case for some substantial financial assistance for carting water for those properties that, have run out of water altogether. And then fourthly, there may be a case for freight subsidies for hay if there are substantial volumes of hay, but they're a long way away, like if they're in Queensland or Western Australia, wherever they are. So I don't know if that is the case, but that is something that, is going to be, for beef and dairy farmers, is going to be really critical in the next 3 months.